Hello, welcome to Mondays, Not Today. I'm Albu. Thank you for being here with me. I hope you had a lovely weekend. Let's have a look and see what's on the show for you, shall we? Well, first, we've been out to Leicestershire, to the lodge where a Notts man has been charged after children fell ill. 8 children were hospitalised at the summer camp near Melton Mowbray last week. The Ruddington man appeared in court over the incident at the weekend. We'll have more on that shortly. And as usual, we've got great guests on the show, including the organisers of an exhibit that's marking 80 years since the Nagasaki and Hiroshima nuclear bombings. Exhibitions and vigils of the nuclear acts of war will take place in Nottingham throughout this week. They'll show images of both Japanese cities in the aftermath of the explosions. And we are just days away from the return of Glowworm Festival. We'll be finding out all about this weekend's event. The county's family-friendly festival returns to Thoresby Park on Friday. Got the organisers on later to give you the glow down. And we've got a bumper sport roundup as well. The season is back. EFL action returned, including we'll hear off Nigel Clough after Mansfield got their season going with defeat to Burton.
2 brilliant finishers which have won the game, and but I didn't think there was a lot in it. So I'm delighted the way we started, and also an awful lot of positives from the new players in general.
We'll also hear from Notts head coach Martin Patterson after their season began with a 1-1 draw away at Newport.
Disappointed at not being 1 or 2 to the good with some of the play and the clear-cut chances that we created.
There you go, all that and loads more coming up for you. But first then, a Nottinghamshire man has appeared in court after several children and an adult fell ill at a Leicestershire summer camp. 9 people were hospitalised last week after a medical emergency at the Stathen Lodge facility near Melton Mowbray, though all have been discharged. A 76-year-old man from Ruddington was arrested and charged with 3 counts of willful ill treatment of a child. He appeared in court on Saturday. Our reporter Lucy Marshall has got more.
Stathen Lodge, a converted farmhouse in the Leicestershire countryside, hosting a summer camp for children. But last week, several attending the camp fell ill. Paramedics attended the scene and 8 boys aged between 8 and 11, along with 1 adult, were taken to hospital as a precaution. All were later discharged. Police investigations led to a 76-year-old Ruddington man being charged in connection with the incident. Jonathan Reuben, who lives on Landmere Lane in the Rushcliffe village, was later charged with 3 counts of willful ill treatment of a child. He appeared at Leicester Magistrates Court on Saturday and was remanded into custody to appear at Leicester Crown Court later this month. Speaking at the scene last Thursday, Leicestershire Police said it was a major probe, led by the East Midlands Special Investigations Unit. The force said a triage centre was set up for the families affected.
This is a complex and sensitive investigation, and we do understand the concern that it will have caused. Please be reassured that we have dedicated resources deployed and continue to work with a number of partner agencies as part of our response. We will provide further updates as and when we're able to do so. And I'd like to remind people that a dedicated major incident public portal has been created. Details of this can be found on our website.
Nottinghamshire Police also issued a statement in the wake of Reuben's charge. The force warned people to not speculate on the circumstances of the incident online, with the criminal proceedings now active. The incident has now been passed on to the Crown Prosecution Service, who also reiterated police messages about people avoiding speculation. Reuben will appear before Leicester Crown Court on August the 29th. Lucy Marshall for Notts TV.
Right, it is time for our first great guest now, and this week marks 80 years since the first atomic bombs were dropped in Japan, which signified the end of the Second World War. Although the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki are the only time in history nuclear weapons have been used, the Campaign for Nuclear Disarmament have organised various events throughout the city to not only honour those who lost their lives in the bombings, but also give stark reminders to the threat that these weapons still pose today. Well, joining me now to tell us more is Barbara Coulson from CND Nottingham. Hello, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So tell us about this week then. What's the exhibit about?
So the exhibition is at the Broadway Gallery, and it's about, as you said, recognising that it's 80 years since a bomb was used as a weapon of war. We're really pleased that we've made it to 80 years because this last few months we've been thinking, are we going to get to the exhibition? So it's an exhibition partly of Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the kind of the events at the time, and then why, something about nuclear weapons, current nuclear weapons, and then anti-nuclear campaigning that Nottingham's done. A lot of it is from the 1980s, where we were much more active, and then there's more recent kind of campaigns, demonstrations, vigils, bike rides, all sorts of ways that we've been trying to kind of spread the message.
I was just going to say, when I knew you were coming on, CND, I remember, child of the 80s, and I remember those, the adverts used to get up, the government warnings and all this would come on the TV, terrifying looking back. But I didn't realise CND was still a thing.
Still going, yes, yeah. Well, as our Diane, part of our group, says, as long as nuclear weapons are here, Nottingham CND is going to be here. So, we're still here. We have a regular stall in Market Square, so people can come and talk to us about it, and lots of people do. We have vigils every year for Hiroshima Day and Nagasaki Day, and quite often we have a kind of a vigil at the end of the year. We go to the Green Festival. We've got a stall at the Green Festival, and then leafleting. We've been to demonstrations. Lake and Heath at the moment in Suffolk is where we've been demonstrating, and there's lots and lots of CND groups throughout the country still, because we need to get rid of nuclear weapons. They're still there, they're still a threat. We've got to do something. We've got to say we don't agree with them and try and talk to people to tell them why.
Well, that's it. I suppose when Gorbachev and Reagan said we're going to reduce the numbers, breathe a sigh of relief, but then in the headlines, Mr. Trump and Mr. Putin are having little chats, and then you see boats moving closer, and it all brings it to the fore again, doesn't it?
And they're breaking the treaties. The thing is, there is what we call the Global Ban Treaty. It does exist. Countries can sign up to it to say that they're not going to develop, store, test nuclear weapons and not to use them as a threat. So, the majority of the world doesn't want nuclear weapons. The countries that have got them are like, well, we're going to hang on to them. And against the Non-Proliferation Treaty are developing bigger bombs, different varieties of bombs, different vehicles of being able to launch your bombs. So in Britain, we're upgrading the Trident submarine system, so billions and billions of pounds on developing dreadnoughts, billions and billions of pounds on these new F-35 bomber planes. We're spending so much money on killing people, but you're never going to use them. Well, why would anybody use a nuclear weapon?
Precisely why this is so great, isn't it? This is the reminder. When you say why you're never going to use them, let's look at this and see the reminder. What other events are happening to
So we've got the exhibition all week. We've got, for Hiroshima Day and Nagasaki Day at 5 o'clock, we'll be having a vigil in Market Square, and then walking up to the exhibition. Tomorrow, very exciting, not tomorrow, Wednesday, Hiroshima Day, 12 o'clock noon. We've got some seeds that are from trees that survived the bombings of Hiroshima. So actual seeds from a survivor tree, and Woodthorpe Plant Nursery, part of Notts County Council, Nottingham City Council, have agreed to nurture the seeds and grow them into saplings so that we can plant them out as peace trees as a symbol of hope and a symbol of peace. And this is my local councillor, Councillor Nayab Patel, who is the peace champion for Nottingham City Council, and they've signed up to the Mayors for Peace group. So we're just delighted that that's all happened. That means that we can do that during the Hiroshima and Nagasaki week. So that's Wednesday at the plant, Woodthorpe Plant Nursery, Woodthorpe Park.
Is there a website? Is there a page that we can go and find out more?
To find out more about what we're doing, Nottingham CND website, and we've got Nottingham CND Facebook.
Fantastic.
And we've also got a film, When the Wind Blows, which is at the Broadway on Sunday.
Oh yes, I've seen that. That's harrowing.
But yes,
thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's not one for the kids, that. Right, time for some other Notts news now. And a man has been charged after a car was driven the wrong way down Maid Marian Way in the city. The driver of a silver Ford Fiesta was stopped by patrolling officers after they spotted him driving on the wrong side of the road just after 3 o'clock in the morning last Thursday. The driver was asked to supply a sample of breath, but he failed to do so. 33-year-old Ahmed Khalid of Abbotsford Drive in St Anne's was charged in connection with the incident. He's been granted bail and will appear at Nottingham Magistrates Court on August the 19th. Police have warned riders of illegal e-bikes to expect to have them seized and destroyed as part of a crackdown. About 100 bikes have been seized this year as part of an operation to take illegally modified and potentially dangerous machines off the streets. Now the force has decided to destroy all units that aren't reclaimed and proven to be fully compliant with the law, with the force looking to crack down on antisocial behaviour and potentially serious injuries. And a Woollerton resident has warned people to be cautious when barbecuing this summer after a fire in her garden. Firefighters were called to the garden of a woman called Mrs Matthews in the afternoon of July the 13th after the fire from half-burning coal spread from a wheelie bin to fences and other parts of her property. In a statement shared alongside by the fire service, she warned people to check coal has completely cooled before putting it in the wheelie bin and then thanked the fire crews who attended the incident. Now we are very much in festival season, and that means the return of Glowworm. It is the huge family fun festival. It is back this weekend. Hey Dougie is going to be performing the Stick song. It's very exciting. We'll listen to the organisers. They'll be here next, and we'll have your football as well. Hello, welcome back to Monday's show with me, Al. Thank you for being here. This is what's happening in Notts today. Notts police bosses hope to extend a new public safety initiative on the city's trams onto the county's buses. Operation SafeNet is a 12-month project launched in June as a collaboration between the police and NET with the aim of keeping people, particularly women and girls, safe on the county's 20-mile tram network. Every tram stop now acts as a safe space for passengers with an intercom and CCTV, and the Police and Crime Commissioner, Gary Godden, hopes to also open discussions with bus companies. And the Reform Administration at Nottinghamshire County Councils promised not to close any libraries as part of plans to save money. Council leader Mick Barton said Reform are on the same page as the former Conservative administration that set out a new 12-point action plan to enhance libraries using technology, building investments and increased staff training. Now the new administration's committed to continuing with the Tory plan. They say it'll only look to improve, not to close, any of the 60 buildings across the county. Now it is almost time for the UK's biggest festival dedicated to families, Glowworm time again. More than 20,000 visitors are expected at Thoresby Park this weekend with a huge lineup of guests from kids' favourite characters to the best tribute artists, and then there's loads of shows as well, and comedy and art and crafts is just jam-packed. In fact, that's an understatement. So here to tell us more about what you can expect is festival organiser Richard Walpole. Thank you for coming on.
No, thanks for having me.
If it's in any way possible, can you just tell us what is going to be there? I know we've only got like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's tough. So, I mean, Glowworm's quite an interesting concept as an event. So it's a family festival dedicated for families with for children between birth and around sort of 12, 13 years old. And I suppose the key thing that's different about us is once you're on site, everything is included in the price apart from sort of food and drink. So the fairground is included till a certain time. All the activities, performances, meet and greets and all those sorts of things. And so we've got anything from the likes of Paw Patrol to Bluey. We've got Mr Blobby there for the adults, so anybody might be able to have a selfie with Mr Blobby. We've got Zippy and George this year as well, which is quite nice. And then on the main stage, it will be, again, a mixture of content for both parents and kids. So we've got the likes of Paul Chuckle doing a DJ set on Friday night for the campers, and then anything through to Rizala doing a great set, Justin Fletcher from CBeebies, and sort of everything in between. And then I suppose the rest of the site is dedicated to activities and workshops. So Playmobil, our headline sponsor, always have such a huge and engaging area for families to come and enjoy. We've got Organics there doing their big picnic with the Gruffalo, so parents will be able to, and kids will be able to meet the Gruffalo. CBeebies bedtime stories. So yeah, it's quite action-packed as far as an event's concerned.
It's so weird being a parent, like mine are 5 and 8.
Yeah.
It's weird being a parent because, like, as soon as you become a parent, all the names you mention, like Justin, he becomes a rock star.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
wow.
And it's really interesting actually, because it's incredible to see kids see these people in the flesh for the first time, and really just absolutely lose it. I mean, we mentioned before we came on about, you know, the Stick song.
Yeah.
And you know, you think Download goes crazy with the mosh pit, but I tell you, when you're in the Stick song on the main stage and hearing that go, it goes
When Hey Doug
absolutely
is
crazy.
there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's just a great collaborative time for parents and kids to be able to spend time together.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about Thoresby is phone signal isn't great. And so it's actually really nice up at Thoresby to see parents and kids actually spending time together as opposed to in front of the screen. And we've designed everything, I suppose, for collaborative entertainment. So there's not stuff just for the kids or just stuff just for the parents. It's content that they can really enjoy together. So Whitehurst Farm being there, for example.
Right.
They can go and see the animals and do all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's huge as well, isn't it? How long has it been going now?
So this is our 9th year. Obviously, we took a year out for COVID, and so we're already well into planning 2026, which will be Globewhelm 10, which is quite a milestone for us. As I say, we moved away from Thoresby for a year last year, but we're returning to Thoresby now, and the team are just buzzing to be back. It's nice to be back in that sort of same space that we recognise and love, and yeah, we're quite excited. The weather's been interesting today, but it looks beautiful for the weekend.
I was going to say.
Yeah, no, we're really excited about it. Yeah, it's great.
Nice. How has it grown in that time? I mean, did you ever expect it to get this big?
No, I don't think so. So it started off, that first year was, I suppose, a little bit bigger than a Village Fete, I would suppose, with an incredible stage and some incredible content in it. I would say that the demographics grown quite a lot. So one of the questions we get quite a lot at the moment is, I've got younger children, but also they've got siblings that are slightly older, teenagers. Do you have things for them there? And the answer now is yes. And that, you know, the year that we took out last year was a great opportunity for us to look at those kids and how look at those activities that those kids want to do and how our audience might grow with us. And so this year we've put quite a lot behind bringing in activities for those teenagers. So things like skateboarding workshops. There's an example which is new to this year. Axe throwing,
right.
Things like that wouldn't have ordinarily been there historically. And so yeah, for us it's quite an exciting year to be back and sort of reimagine it and do things differently for the customers. So.
But also I would say you never grow out of Bluey.
No, I don't think you do, and this is the thing, I'm determined that Bluey is more for the parents than it is for the kids if you watch it. But the most incredible thing, and I mentioned it the other day to somebody, is that bringing back that nostalgia and allowing parents to be able to share their memories with the kids. I mean, we've started seeing, you know, plush teddies of Mr. Blobby turn up at the main stage, and I think they definitely don't make them anymore. And so some parents gone into the depths of their attic to pull that sort of thing out. And so it's nice. I imagine that a lot of families, including, you know, what I've done with my own children, bringing up those old episodes and sharing the content with them to prepare for the festival. And so yeah, it's really nice to be able to see them collaborate and engage in that way.
Just remind us how we can get tickets.
Yeah, so tickets are still available on the website, so glowwormfestival.co.uk. We are running rapidly out of camping and things like that, and the general admission tickets now. So if you do want to come, I would certainly recommend buying them.
And Andy and the Odd Socks are there, aren't they?
Andy and the Odd Socks are there on the Sunday, doing a fantastic set. We've got some incredible guests on the bedtime stories as well. We've got Comet, one of the gladiators. So that'll be great. We've got John McClure from Reverend and the Makers. And so yeah, it's just an absolutely jam-packed lineup. There's so many activities, so many workshops, so much going on. Something for everyone, really.
Yeah, it really is. Brilliant, thank you. I need to move on, but I want to talk about this forever.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you. And that is because we've got sport as well, and the EFL season started again, didn't it, at the weekend? Mansfield Town got their season off to a less than great start. They fell to defeat at Burton Albion. The Stags lost the match 2-1 at the Pirelli Stadium, courtesy of a Charlie Webster brace either side of the break. Bailey Cargill got a consolation goal for the Stags 15 minutes from the end. After the match, Mansfield manager Nigel Clough said there are lessons to be learned from the defeat as they return to competitive football.
They got on top then between then and half time, and we struggled then. It was sort of just not a lot of chances, but it was just sort of make sure you get in half time 1-0 and then go out and start again the second half. And I thought we started the second half well, and we've just vacated the area outside the box, and he's put another great goal in. It's two brilliant finishes which have won the game. and but I didn't think there was a lot in it. I say I'm delighted the way we started, and also an awful lot of positives from the new players in general. I thought Kyle Noyle was outstanding today, and wing back or as right centre half. I thought Jane McDonald did enough. Lovely to see Oatsy back. And getting through 90 minutes as well. Thought he was a nuisance, and then Luke Bolton looked good as well when he came on. So a lot of encouragement today, despite the defeat.
Notts County also got their season going on Saturday. They travelled to face Newport in South Wales and drew the game 1-1. Jodie Jones got the penalty in the second half that cancelled out Gerard Garner's opener for Newport, which came shortly after half-time. After the match, new head coach Martin Patterson said it was a good start to the season with a point on the board, but he wants to see more from his side.
Disappointed at not being 1 or 2 to the good with some of the play and the clear-cut chances that we created. But you talked about fairness. Football owes you absolutely nothing. You have to take those chances, because what happens is you leave yourself open for certain styles to hurt you. And again, set play goal that we conceded, very avoidable. And then we have to have a reaction then to go and get a goal back, and we were pushing. I made lots of attacking substitutions to try and create something. So to answer your question, I'm disappointed not to win the game.
Now, Saturday's match was delayed by an hour after a Notts fan fell ill and required hospital treatment. 2 separate air ambulances landed on the pitch at Rodney Parade, and an evacuation took place after the medical emergency. The club confirmed it did involve a county fan. The match eventually kicked off at 4 p.m. In a statement, Notts said the fan was in a serious but stable condition in hospital. In cricket, Notts bowler Calvin Harrison said he was glad to get back on the pitch and take some wickets after helping the club in last week's county championship draw with Somerset. Harrison took 4 wickets on his return to red ball cricket at Trent Bridge, and he said he was glad to get back on the pitch, even if they were forced to settle for a draw rather than being able to push on and bat a second innings.
Pretty nice rhythm, so it was good to have a good spell today. It was an exciting day really. It came down to we had to get quick wickets obviously, so unfortunately we didn't quite make the breaks all the way through, but they batted nicely enough. But we created some decent chances, and a lot just quite didn't fall our way. We had a few here and there that could have gone to hand, which just found gaps. But that's how the game goes, I guess. Give ourselves a chance to chase, but unfortunately not quite. But other than that, pretty good, solid all-round game after day one. I think we were a little bit disappointed with how it sort of unfolded on day one, but we bounced back very nicely.
Time for a look at your picture of the day now. A majestic, misty shot of Wilton Hall and Deer Park, thanks to Whitefoot Photography. That is gorgeous. Look at those deer. Run, deer, run. Now, for your weather. Okay, so it's been a blustery one today, and we've had some showers, but that's all going to clear going into tonight. After lows of 12, we will see highs of tomorrow 20, and it should be fairly warm and dry as well. And then into Wednesday, it's back to what we've known recently. Highs of 24 degrees, and if you can see that, just a big sun, no cloud or anything. Oh yeah, all lovely for Glowworm Festival at the weekend if you're going along, and that's good, what we want to hear, isn't it? That's the end of the show. Thank you for being here. I'll be with you tomorrow at 5:30 for more Notts Today. Have a good evening. Enjoy the wind. Bye.